Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and this time we are going to repair an Oster blender. This video if I am going to make it complete because those cards are a little expensive, so they were worth repairing them, and we are going to see this type of failure. For example, it does not turn on, it does not. Nothing doesn't turn on any bulb, it doesn't try anything, so we're going to remove the screws that have 4 in the base. Since we remove those 4 screws, we remove the fan cover, there it is, and it gives us access to the card and the motor. Let's check the fuse first. Yes. The fuse is working well, so we are going to the next step, which is to check engine or card. As we demarcate quickly if it is the card, then look, we are going to remove the line that goes to the motor, which is white, and the others are the other colors of speed, then connect. The white either of the two and some color must work the motor. Right now I am going to put it in series for safety. That means that it is not working live with direct current, but is just making the step, and look here, we can see that it turns on. A little bit at the bottom, good, and with the highest speed, look here, we can see that it spins. Is not dangerous because it is seen that it is at high speeds, but not practically barely, and it spins. It is not dangerous to do it in series. Live if you don't do it, because you can even take it a finger, but here look, you can see it as if it was very fast, but you can't stop it even with your hand. Well, I remind you then that if you like my content, then give it like, that's free and it motivates me a lot. We support this whole channel, and also if you want to support a little more, then subscribe. Use my TikTok code that is in the description. You can make a donation, become a member, or you can also follow me on Facebook, where I answer all your questions and comments. Usually send me a private message or something, because here it is impossible for me to answer if I answer, but the truth is a little difficult for me since we are quite a few comments. But even so, if I continue commenting, if your comment is not this answered, do not think that I did not see it or something, but maybe I missed it or something. Don't ignore yourself, but maybe I missed so many comments that there are, so if I keep answering, but little by little, well, we disconnect all the wiring and we are going to remove the card. This card is something expensive in the market, so, and failures are always something simple, and I have never had a repair something strong that are always relays, capacitors, fuses, or push button. In this case we can see that the damage is from cockroach. Look, as I said in other videos, cockroaches damage all circuits and tracks quite a bit. The only detail is card, that in order to remove it from the plastic we have to desolder all the LEDs, the 6 LEDs. Then how do you do that? Well, easy, with a soldering iron. Whether it's a tip gun or heat gun, you just heat up and, well, boots the soldering. If you're not a technician, you can take it to somewhere workshop to have it desoldered. Be careful, they will charge you easily about 5-10 pesos per point. Take it into account. So even if I make the change easy and the spare part is not so expensive, remember that all that, well, they also had to learn and everything, so don't miss a job. And well, here we can see how the card is, and it looks quite full of cockroach excrement. That means that it is a card that is already a little damaged. First, this type of card is cleaned because more nothing to see if they are going to be left or not, because if the clues are already eaten, practically don't get into fights and don't repair them because it's going to fail you every now and then. Here we can see that in the terminals of the and all the SMDs. They start to want to sulfate or eat the tracks. The metal is corrosive, the excrement of the cockroach in this type of electronic cards. But look, here we already clean it and we can see that it is still in perfect condition. Then it will be 100. You saw the difference between a dirty card and a clean card. Well, here we have it, a clean card. It even looks new, it looks like it shines and everything. And now what we have to do is try all the push buttons first, or more than anything, the power on one, because it's like if you check the blender switch, if it doesn't turn on, then the switch, then that's what we do. The same with the cards. For this, because you need a multimeter, there are very cheap multimeters, or you can take it to a workshop for repairs. Then I'll leave that to your discretion, and that's it. Well, let's try them now. Yes, with a multimeter, you just have to put your multimeter on the continuity scale, and that's it. We press each push button. These work with the terminals on sides, diagonally. Sorry, there are others that are lateral, they are diagonal. We put the tips of the multimeter where I'm going to put them right now here. Look, in this case we press and this does not work. What does it mean? Look, it must turn on a green LED on the multimeter and well, no, it doesn't do anything, it doesn't work. Then first, this push button doesn't work. Here we can see this one and if it works. Look there, you can see the light you saw is what it has to do a good way step, but diagonally, look here, diagonally we can see that the push button does work. Then check all the push buttons here. First we already found the one that is wrong and practically me. I feel that it is the only one, this one suddenly like it gave a little falsehood. Then we also change it once and for all. I am just going to show you how one is changed and the other you change it, so all those who give you a bad reading or who do not give continuity are going to having to replace them are not expensive. They cost about 5 pesos, 3 pesos or even weight wholesale. So look, to solder, you can get them even in Oster, and if you are from some other state or something, they are quite cheap since we have desoled everything. We are going to put the new one here. No. There is no difference which side you have removed it from because the push buttons, despite the fact that they look square, the connections are like rectangular. They are only going to enter in a single position. Also remember that the push or well, the plunger in the center is the same length as the one that you are going to the one you are going to remove well than the one you removed practically, because if it is not going to stay stuck or it is not going to press, then since we have the card turned over and everything, we proceed to solder. Remember that to solder you can use paste, or it is not said that the one that does not use pasta is better, but preferably it is as you accommodate. We put the 4 dots that it has, well, 5 dots with the earth, and we clean the card a little with isopropyl alcohol. Here apparently it looks as if they were made to the raw soldered, but look at you, I'm going to show it a little bit of fencing so you can see how it looks. Already clean of isopropyl alcohol. Look, you saw there are some pretty nice points, and that's it. We're going to proceed to test the card. How we're going to test it if it doesn't have LEDs or the LEDs that we put on it does not have them on right now. The LEDs that we took away, sorry, because we just connected it as it was in the blender and pressed a button, and what it should do is start turning the motor as if we had energized it. Look, there is that it wants to say that it's no longer giving continuity and it's all good. If it's a little tired that I suddenly swallow it, it's because you know that I try to make these videos in my free time, but I don't want these types of videos that go to waste, so I try to do because I try to do it. Then if I'm a little tired, a little bit more this slow in the spoken, then I have a little more patience, and well, since we have this, we're going to proceed like this to assemble everything up to here. I'm going to give you a tip. In case you don't know about electronics, here always where there is an LED, well, in this case it is surrounded in the connections, a circle, but the circle has a flat part or a cut part, just like the LED. You can check the LEDs and they have a flat part in the base. Then that flat part is the negative, and that negative must match the flat part of the card. Practically you have the figurine at the bottom of the LED and there is no loss there. You don't have to be checking which one is positive, which is negative. We just assemble now. The card we are going to weld, all the LEDs are 6. Remember to put the red where it went, because if it is not going to turn out badly, it comes out that is, not that it will turn on differently and nothing will turn on the same. The only detail that will indicate wrong. Now we are going to connect everything to connect it, because always remember to put the plastics that you removed, put their screws in all these cards. There is no problem that you grab them like this with your hands as is. It is not like MOSFET circuits or something that you have to use some anti-static bracelet here. There is no problem. Well, put your hands and everything, and as we can see, well, here it is everything. Now we just proceed to assemble, because I remind you that if this video helps you, then share it. Follow me on Facebook, since also Facebook I upload content. On TikTok we are also starting to try to upload and well, we already have the blender here in perfect condition on the card. Everything is well assembled and everything. Look, we turn it on, the LEDs are already on, and we test everything. We are going to test all the functions to see that all the LEDs turn on. Here it is already spinning and everything. I don't put the music because there is background music, so I can't put the audios as we are in the workshop working, all of us. Well, the truth is that there they have their music, and well, we cut this one, we put the one above, and now the one that follows works. Well, you saw everything is working, and then I hope you liked it. Follow me, subscribe if you have any questions, leave in the comments as I always try to answer each other. A little difficult, but well, I try to do it and see you until next time. Ciao.